Coming up in today's episode, Cleveland Browns quarterback coach Mike Bajakian speaks out. He wants to tell people how elite Shedeur Sanders is and what he has saw from Shedeur Sanders coming into this year's camp, coming into OTAs, and also what he saw from him in mini camp. Because there's a lot of narratives out there about Shedeur Sanders that the Cleveland media has put out there, and guys are speaking up. When you hear from people like the head coach Todd Monken, the general manager, and Andrew Berry, now you're hearing more from the quarterback's coach that's hands-on with Shedeur Sanders, giving you his evaluation and putting other people's narratives to rest. And that's all coming up right after this.
Yo, what's poppin', people? It's your boy Big Snacks, and I'm putting y'all on right now. My boy K-Sap, Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Hey, let's go. Hey, K-Sap on the mic, better lock in. Lock in. Simply Ball Dropping, we ain't stopping. Pound talk, heavy dog pound rocking. Shedeur in the pocket, whole league watching. Coach Prime Motion, Colorado Heat. Big time pressure, still won't retreat. Nothing dangerous, crashing glass with the dream. WNBA smoke, we bring flames to the screen. Real takes only, no fake, no pretend. Tell a friend, tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. Like, comment, subscribe, bring the whole crew in. Hashtag salute, y'all know what to do. I see everybody in the comment section too. Salute, K-Snap, Simply Ball Drop, big snack stamp it. Let's get it.
Well, guys, man, appreciate you tuned in. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the love. Let's talk about a few things, man. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about Shedeur Sanders. Once again, there's narratives out there about Shedeur Sanders that he can't do this and he can't do that. Now, ever since Todd Monken has took over as head coach, Todd Monken has put high praise on Shedeur Sanders, despite all the narratives and all the naysayers out there saying that Shedeur Sanders can't lead an NFL team. Right now, we've seen and we've heard from Todd Monken on what he said this is a quarterback competition. And we've seen that this is a competition. There's no clear-cut favorite. You know, everybody wanted Deshaun Watson just to, be quarterback one, but Shedeur Sanders got a say in that. And we heard head coach Todd Monken when they asked about Shedeur Sanders' progress, he gives him high praise and rave reviews. Unlike last year, under the Kevin Stefanski regime, Kevin Stefanski wouldn't even address Shedeur Sanders. So we knew some funny business was happening behind the scenes. And that all came out, like I told you. What don't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse. Because when Shedeur Sanders took over in that Baltimore game after halftime, because Dylan Gabriel supposedly went down with a concussion, and after the game, Shedeur Sanders addressed, the media talking about this is the first time he was able to throw to the first team. So there was no continuity there. There was no trust there. And we saw how that played out. But then as he continued to play for the rest of the season, he started building momentum. Everything that he did against the Las Vegas Raiders in his first start, he showed elite capabilities. That's what he has. First quarterback since 2016, a rookie for Cleveland to win their first start. We saw what else he did against the Tennessee Titans when he went up against Cam Ward. He outplayed Cam Ward. Even though Tennessee Titans won, that's because of what Kevin Stefanski did. Everybody saw that with their own eyes. He outperformed Cam. He threw for over 360 yards. He had 4 touchdowns, 3 in the air, and 1 rushing touchdown. The first quarterback rookie to do that, throwing for 360 yards, besides Joe Burrows. So all the narratives was out there about Shedeur can't do this, Shedeur can't do that. Shedeur can't read defenses. He needs help, reading the playbook. He needs help with his film study. And there was things out there that y'all's guy, Jason Lloyd, said, talking about he was hearing talks in the organization that he can't read defenses. He needs help studying. You know what I'm saying? He brought out the advanced analytics and said that Shedeur was the worst quarterback in the modern day era, that proved to be a lie because Bull shut him down the other day on that. And then also, his take about Shedeur Sanders will never be a starter. He can't win nothing of significance. And now Mike Bajakian, the head quarterbacks coach, he spoke out. But this is how we got here. And this is why I said the narrative that Jason Lloyd put out there, Mike Bajakian shut that down. So this is how everything started. And listen to what Jason Lloyd had to say. And then this is what Mike Bajakian had to say. Let's take a listen to this.
I've seen enough and I've heard enough. I don't think he's good enough to start for this team and win anything of substance.
Now you heard that, right? He said, I've seen enough. I've heard enough. He's talking about Shedeur Sanders, that he can't win nothing of significance. But I beg to differ because this is what Mike Bajakian, the head quarterbacks coach, said about Shedeur Sanders. Let's take a listen to this.
With what he's seen from Shedeur Sanders in the offseason program.
I'm blown away. I think Shedeur has really good vision of the field. He'll say things in practice. Sometimes I'll be like, what did you get there? Or I'll see something on the field that doesn't resonate with me. And then when I go back and watch it on video, he might be throwing the deep post versus post safety look in what is maybe a jog through type of tempo. But then sure enough, I see that the post safety sat on the crosser and gave him a post over the top. And so his vision with his work ethic has been good to see.
Now you heard exactly what Mike Bajakian said, right? He basically just crushed Jason Lloyd's whole theory about he can't read defenses. Because now you got to put that in context on what he said, because he came out and stated that he'll see something in practice that he might question what Shedeur did. But when he goes look at the film later on, he's like, okay, I see why he did that. I see why he threw the post fade, because the corner was setting on the route. So he had the one-on-one on the post fade. Now that's elite skills of reading the defense. Now also, guys, I want y'all to take it back down memory lane. When Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, his dad stated that Shedeur Sanders been calling offensive plays since he was 8 years old. That's why they call him grown. He was flipping protections because of what the defense was in. He was getting everybody lined up at the age of 8. So this notion of Jason Lloyd saying what he said, it doesn't hold no weight because of the fact of what the quarterbacks coach said. And the quarterbacks coach is with Shedeur every day. And that's what people miss. They miss the context of when the head coach Todd Monken speaks and Andrew Berry speaks. They've been speaking highly of Shedeur on his progress. See, we wouldn't be at this conjunction right now if it wasn't for Kevin Stefanski last year not giving Shedeur Sanders an opportunity, not giving him any reps with the first team. We wouldn't be talking about this right now, because Shedeur Sanders would have that quarterback one position locked in. Kevin Stefanski held him back. See, they don't want to see Shedeur Sanders succeed. And that's why they pushing all these narratives. But I'm glad these people that are hands-on with Shedeur, that are out there on the field with Shedeur, is coming out letting people know, nah, this guy is elite. Y'all got it all wrong. So basically, Jason Lloyd, he got it all wrong. And Mike Bajakian, he crushed him. He crushed that narrative, man. See, this is what they're doing. They're putting these narratives to bed. And this is what needs to happen. Regardless of how you feel about Shedeur Sanders, I don't care if you dislike him, but you got to respect the fact that he is an elite quarterback given the opportunity. But it seems like the Cleveland media, they don't want to win. They don't want to give him the opportunity. It's everybody but Shedeur. They looking down the road to seeing who they can get in 2027 as a quarterback. They looking at all these quarterbacks that are in these drafts that they can potentially go get. And like Pearl said, everybody wants to get a quarterback to be the savior. But you got a quarterback in Shedeur Sanders that's already on your roster that has the elite capability of leading a franchise. But you got to give him an opportunity. And see, Jason Lloyd, he's going back and forth now. He's in the trick bag because every little narrative that he put out, somebody has come out and said, Jason, you wrong. This is how it all is, man. And the crazy thing about it is when Jason Lloyd speaks, he speaks with conviction because it shows in his heart that he does not care for Shedeur Sanders. And that's just the bottom line. And we got to take it for face value. Y'all get down in the comment section.
I see everyone in the comment section. #salute. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you will know every time I drop a hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot, tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, it might be for them. And that will wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host, the man behind the mic, KSAP. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.